Right, good afternoon. I have just finished watching Liz Kendall's green paper on welfare reform. I've been scribbling frantically over the last 20 minutes or so I'm going to give you all this in detail as best as I can. There's not a lot of foundation behind it. That's in the green paper, which you'll be able to find on the government website. But I will give you the bullet points. There's quite a lot. So listen carefully. If you miss it, go back. Right, £70 billion will be spent on benefits by 2029, and it's been up 20 billion since the pandemic. So it's already gone up by 20 billion. It's at 48 billion now. It's going to go by the 22 billion by 2029. £240 million budget to be spent on Getting Britain Working plan. Again, no detail in that, but it will be found in the green paper. Genuine claimants will not be punished who can't work. So people who are genuinely in ill health or disability, who genuinely cannot work, will not be punished. More work opportunities for disabled people, where they're going to work with employers to get more spaces for disabled people. Again, no detail. Unemployment insurance plan to replace ESA and JSA. Again, no detail, but it's, again, green paper. Work capability assessment that's been rambling on for a while will be scrapped by 2028. So still another 3 years down the road on that one. Now this is a good one. You can go and try work, and if it doesn't work out for you, so you can't do it because of your health or disability, then you can go straight back onto benefits without delay. That's a big one. It's encouraging people to try to go to work who maybe never worked, who are disabled, to go and try it. If you don't get it, then it can't fit in, it doesn't work out for you, it doesn't work out for the employer, you can go back on the benefits without delay. So that's a big one. Turning my pages. Right, they're going to change the legislation on universal credit in April 26. Now the detail again isn't out there, so we don't know what that's going to be, but again it'll be in the green paper, which is going to be consulted on over quite a period of time by the sounds of it. There's going to be a permanent rise, I don't know if I got this right, of £777 by 2029 for people in receipt of universal credit, to help them have a better standard of living, so they are likely to stay in work rather than go back and rely on benefits. So that's another big one. Reassessments will now be face-to-face instead of over the phone. We're now down to 1 in 10. Since the pandemic, 1 in 10 assessments are over the phone. They're going to get that up to 10 in 10. And they will be recorded. Now that's a big one, and you will be given a copy of the recording for if you need to put a claim in a tribunal if you haven't got your claim successful. Assessors will be trained properly to understand the conditions of the people that they will be face-to-face with in these interviews. So that's really important, and the fact that the recordings are coming in, I think, is massive. A total reform of disability. 150% of young people and 190% of mental health people, that's the increase since the pandemic of people claiming benefits. So 150% rise in young people and 190% rise in mental health cases in young people, mainly since the pandemic. There's 1,000 new PIP claims daily in this country. 1,000 new PIP claims daily. That's huge. No wonder the bill's going to rise massively. They are not even considering vouchers. They said the Conservatives wanted to bring in vouchers. Absolutely not. They said they have to trust the people to do the right thing with the money they receive in benefits to make their lives more comfortable. There will be no means tested on PIP. Now, there isn't now, and they're not going to bring it in either. PIP will not be frozen, so you will still get your inflationary rise every year. Now, we know this year it's 1.7%. However, inflation's now double that. So people who are receiving PIP are going to be worse off this year because it's not keeping up with inflation. But that was based on last September's figure, of course. Change in PIP. You have to qualify. Eligibility is changing. They're going to reform the whole application process. They're going to take certain questions out, add new questions in, streamline the form. It will be allowed to be done online as well for people who would prefer to do it online, which I would, because I struggle to write now. And it took me hours and hours and days to get the last form completed. You have to qualify with 4 points on one of the sectors to qualify for some sort of personal independence payment. So if you get 1 point for this and 2 points for that, that's not qualifying. You've got to get 4 points on one of the topics to qualify. So remember that one. As I've said, there's going to be a total revamp of the form. 2029 to 30, all this will be finalised. So we're way down the road. We're right at the end of this Labour government. And it probably would be the end of this Labour government. So this is not anything imminent. This is over the next 3 to 4 to 5 years. There's a £1 billion employment a year to support, to get people back to work. So £1 billion extra is going to be put in by the Exchequer to support people back into work and to keep them in work. Again, it's all very short on detail. Again, it'll be in the Green Paper. It will be available on the government website. But this Green Paper is going to be consulted on over many, many months, probably for the rest of this year. So there's, like I say, this is not imminent. There is going to be a huge expectation on anybody claiming universal credit to engage with work coaches, to get extra hours, to get back into work, to look at different opportunities to increase your chance of getting a better job. Again, short on detail. Now, an alternative plan, which Liz Kendall hasn't mentioned today, but a lot of Labour MPs who have rebelled against this have come up with, if you taxed the people who have got a wealth of over £10 million by 2% extra a year, so if you tax them by 2% more a year, the ones who have over £10 million, it would only affect 20,000 people, but would raise £24 billion, which would have made it unnecessary to do what Liz Kendall's done this morning. But that's just an alternative coming from a lot of backbench Labour MPs who have said that really it's better taxing the wealthiest, and it would only affect 20,000 people who have got a lot of money to raise £24 billion, instead of trying to claw this £5 billion back. Now, what Liz Kendall did say was, this £5 billion that they want to save every year won't really come into effect till 2028, 29, so 3 to 4 years away. So, as I say, none of this is imminent. It's all very short on detail. It was only a 15-minute speech she gave on it, but I'm hoping now, I've given as much detail as I can today on the new changes that this government have come in with and will be coming in with next year or 2 or 3 or 4. Have a good day if you've not fallen asleep.